So hi everyone and welcome back to my channel, and I'm Sarah of Horror, and here I review movies and TV shows and do an occasional funny intro video sometimes with my baby Yoda. Yeah, I do not only review horror movies, even though I'm Sarah of Horror, but mostly horror. But today I have something really special that I will be talking about, and I will be talking about the two Battle Royale movies. Yes, you know, the original Hunger Game movies before the Hunger Games was a thing. We had Battle Royale. Battle Royale is from 2000. It's directed by Kinji Fukasaku. It's starring Tatsuya Fujiwara, Aki Maeda, Taro Yamamoto, Chiaki Kuriyama, uh, and Takeshi Kitano. So, in this movie, we have a class of 42 students. They are ninth graders, so they are like 15 years old. And they have been chosen by the Japanese government to participate in a thing called Battle Royale, or the Battle Royale Act. So they are being forced to kill each other until there's only one winner. Yes, so only one student can win the Battle Royale. And they are being forced to do this because the Japanese government has come tired of young people not respecting authorities and adults. I mean, I've seen this movie many times, and I first saw it, I think, a couple of years after it came out. And yeah, I was just immediately taken by the story. I know this is based on a manga and on a novel. I have read the manga, not the novel, but yeah, I'm going to be looking into getting the novel and reading that one as well. Yeah, I mean, the first thing that really gets me just very interested and invested is the story. The story itself is just so good, and it's simple but not simple at the same time. It has a lot of different layers to it. But yeah, the idea of forcing ninth graders, a whole class of ninth graders, to participate in this Battle Royale act by killing each other in various different ways is just very intriguing. And of course horrible. But I do like how this movie is kind of built up. We of course have the part where, you know, they are kind of drugged and then they wake up in the room. They see their old teacher, played by Kitano, there to explain what is going on. And I found the explaining scene to be very fascinating as well, because it is quite long and there are 42 students. I mean, we do not get to know all of them. I mean, it's kind of impossible to really get to know them all really deeply. But I have to say, the little details and the few things that we get to know about every character, like the minor characters that maybe, you know, aren't there for as long as some others because of things that happen in the film, I still feel that I got to know them pretty well. Like, I can remember almost every character and be like, oh, that was that guy, he liked this, and that was that girl, she liked this. And yeah, so I mean, I think they did a good job portraying and making us remember all of these characters, actually. I mean, this, as I said, the scene is pretty long. It could have been very boring and drawn out, but they have the scene, you know, where Kitano is explaining everything, and also some students, you know, they are like, well, what is this? Is this a joke? Ha ha ha. They are not taking it seriously, so Kitano has to show them that they should. And then also they have like an introduction video where there's a young woman explaining like how the Battle Royale is going to be. Like, she explains there's an island, they're on this island, there will be like safe zones and danger zones, and each one of the students will get a weapon and a bag of things to survive basically for 3 days. Yeah, they have 3 days. And they also are wearing like these kind of necklaces, like collars, which also have a very interesting function in itself. That adds another whole layer of stress to an already stress-filled situation, which is really good. It makes me even more invested when I know that thing. But yeah, and then they are kind of smart by because there are 21 boys and 21 girls, so 42 in total. So they read their names like boy one and the name, girl one and the name. So we get the name, we get to see who it is, we get to see their reactions. Are they do they want to do this, or are they not? And then there's also like two exchange students that no one knows who they are, and they are just there. But it is of course explained why. And yeah, I feel that adds another layer to this story, of course. I mean, I can understand that some people might find these many layers kind of that, I don't know, that the movie has too many side stories or things that it becomes a bit messy, that they just, they should just focus everything on the present now. But I kind of disagree. For me, it was working. I really liked all of those side stories. We have some flashbacks, and there are of course different versions, longer versions with the director's cut, which I prefer. Like the things they have added are like flashback basketball scenes and things like that. And I mean, also it's kind of cool to see which weapons everyone got, because not everyone like got the same thing, and not everyone got like it's not really fair. Like some people got like an cooking lid, yeah, that you put on if you cook something in a pot. Oh yeah, pot lid. They got a pot lid and like binoculars, and some other guy or girl, they got like an AK-47 or something, like a machine gun. And like, how is that even fair? But yeah, I mean, they have to use the weapons that they are designated to get as best as they can. And I mean, there are some funny situations that come up with these weapons. Even though they are put in these horrible situations, there still is some really dark humor in this film, which I really liked. There was a running gag with Kitano and some cookies, which I found hilarious, especially towards the end. And we also had like a very specific, interesting character called Mitsuko. Or there were several interesting characters, but she's definitely one of the most memorable ones. And I also read that this is one of Quentin Tarantino's favorite movie, and he actually cast the actress who plays Chigusa in this one as Gogo Iwari in Kill Bill 1. You know, the schoolgirl with the ball thing. But yeah, she fights Uma Thurman's character. Yes. And I also kind of like that this, even though, we are put in this horrible situation. I mean, but we as viewers are kind of part of it, it seems, it feels sometimes. But we have to remember, these are like 15-year-olds. They are, pretty not mature. And I do like that this film kind of portrays them as, this 15-year-olds, because we get to see like black screens with text on them, and that is like thoughts and feelings that these young people are having, and they're quite childish because they are children. And I think it's really nice that they are portrayed as kind of like children and childish in this one, because his thoughts, their last thoughts are like, oh, has to do a lot with love, having a crush on someone and things like that. And I found it to be a really nice detail. First, the music in this one is really good, really fitting, especially with the like classical music. It's such a contrast to all the violence happening in the film, that it just instantly matches really well. Of course, there's a lot of killing scenes, a lot, and in a lot of different ways, creative kills. And I mean, you do get attached to some of the characters, and it hurts to see them go sometimes. It really does. There are so many good and memorable scenes, And as I said, I've seen this movie many, many times. I never get tired of it. I do love the intro because in the intro, they do show like the winner from the last game. You just get right thrown into it, and we're like, what is that even? What, the winner of what? Okay. And then we get straight to knowing this year's, chosen class, so to speak. And then we kind of know maybe like what is going on, like they will be put through this awful thing, so we're like, oh, okay. We are preparing ourselves mentally. As I said, many people do not realize that battle royale came before Hunger Games, and it inspired Hunger Games a lot. So I hope that no one sees battle royale and is like, oh, that's a copy of Hunger Games, because that's not the situation at all. There was actually a talk of doing an American remake of Battle Royale, but then Hunger Games came, uh, and the director was like, if I would remake Battle Royale, then people would probably think that it's a just cheap knockoff of Hunger Games, which is a shame, because they wouldn't know that Battle Royale actually existed and came before. So, which is just such a shame, because I mean, I've seen Hunger Games, and I do think that Battle Royale is better, much better. But I mean, Hunger Games is not a bad film. I mean, it just doesn't live up to Battle Royale, but I mean, not many movies do anyway. Like the acting, the actors did a really good job. I mean, I heard that like 800 people auditioned for as the students. So for 6 months, they had like a grueling like casting process, like lots of physical things, physical training. They had to, because no one had any stunt doubles in this one. Everyone did their own stunts, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, there are like a lot of physical things in this one. So like being fit and just being able to do all of them, I mean, it was an important part of the process probably. Also wanted to show you, well, if you've seen my like collection videos that I have on my channel, then you've definitely seen this one before. Here it is, my Arrow edition of Battle Royale. Yeah, I think this was actually my first Arrow that I ever bought at a sci-fi convention. It is, yeah, I've seen it a lot. It has a lot of tears. Yeah, you've seen that I've been using it a lot. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I will show you this. Battle Royale, parents' little reversible sleeves. And here we have the other side, but I will just do this. Discs there are, so 3, that's a lot. Yeah, this is just a really amazing like edition. And this here it says like, today I killed my best friend, and here, could you kill your best friend? So yeah, that is also a big part of it. We see which characters kind of adapt to the situation, which ones do not, unfortunately. And yeah, here a tagline: 1 dead, 41 to go. And that is a theme that they are running with. We always get to see how many have died, who has died. They are having like these reports, death reports, several times a day. And yeah, this situation has become kind of bizarre and horrible and bizarre, and like, are they really in this situation? But yeah, it is a film that you will never forget after watching this. So what grade will this one get from me? I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. Yeah, 10 out of 10. I love this movie. It is certainly a 10 out of 10 film for me. And yeah, please let me know what you think about Battle Royale in the comments below. But yeah, let's move on to the sequel. Okay, so Battle Royale 2. It's from 2003. It's directed by Kenta and Kinji Fukasaku. It's starring Tatsuya Fujiwara, Ai Maeda, Shogu Oshihara, Ayana Sakai, Aki Meida, and Riki Takeuchi. So I just want to say something. This one there will be some spoilers from the first movie. So if you haven't seen the second film and you don't want any spoilers, it's okay to not watch my review of the second film. So I will give you a chance to click off. Okay, so in this one, this is 3 years after the last kind of failed Battle Royale act from the first film, because from the first film, it didn't go as planned and there was more than one survivor. So in this one, we have a group of students, another ninth, grade student class are being selected for a kind of new reformed Battle Royale program act, so to speak. And they are sent to an island with just one mission. Not even to kill each other, just to kill the survivor or survivors from the first film. Nanahara, Shuya Nanahara. They need to kill him to win the game. Yes. We see they have changed up the theme a bit, which is kind of good. They come with something new, something feels a bit fresh, not just using that all the same kind of concept. Took the concept, but gave it a bit of spice. Feeling refreshed. Immediately when I first saw this film, I've seen this one maybe like 3 or 4 times, not as many times as the first one. But yeah, the music, like one of the songs that really stands out in the first film, they open with in this one, which was really cool. And I was like, oh yeah, this is nice. Such a nice detail. And of course we have that Battle Royale battle theme, so to speak, after that, which is also very good, kind of intense, and you're being reminded that this is a Battle Royale. So yeah, right away, I'm in a certain vibe. I have to say that we don't really get to know the kids or the children that participate in this one as well as we did in the first one, even though there were many in the first one, but somehow I managed to remember all of them, get a feel for them, and just remember small details that made me made everyone kind of stand out. In this one, it's not really that. Not even in the scene, where they are explaining, they are calling out their names. And also when they are on the island, they die a bit too fast and too many at once. Yeah, because now the objective is not to kill each other, it's to kill Shuya Nanahara and his kind of group of survivors. They are now being like labeled as terrorists because of the failed BR program. Nanahara's group, they are protecting themselves. They don't even know that these kids are trying to kill them. They are probably thinking that the government is trying to kill them. So yeah, a lot of these kids, they just get shot right away, like a lot, and you don't really get to know anything about them. So yeah, the characters are not really memorable in this one. Like, I'm thinking back now, I'm like, didn't really get to know a lot about them. Don't even know like who. I remember like 2, 3 from the first kind of shooting. So yeah, I think like they got rid of a lot of people too soon and too many at the same time. So I would have changed that. I think it is kind of interesting that they are going after the survivor from the first one. I do like that element of the story. And there is another element that I also like, but that I won't spoil, of course, because that is a bit of a surprise, actually. This is also quite long as the first one, but I do think the time doesn't really fly by as fast as it did in the first one. So I don't think that the script is as solid as in the first one, but I do like that they added some new details. As I said, it still felt kind of fresh. And also they did change some things with the collars and necklaces and games, being played a bit differently. but it's not as interesting or as gripping as the first one. It's not as emotional. And also, I I do miss some of that dark humor that we had in the first one. It is kind of completely missing from this one, unfortunately. I do think that this would have worked with some of that, dark humor sprinkled upon it. Maybe that's just me. This one, it feels kind of more of a war movie. In the first one, it felt more of a, yeah, like children trying to just kill each other, and they have some creative kills. And this one, it just felt a bit of more of a war situation than in the first one. And yeah, as I said, there's just a lot of shooting and a lot of people just dying right away. Then I also have to say that, like, towards the middle of the film, it kind of slows down a bit. We get like a breather, and then we get to know more from some of the characters, which I appreciated. That was a good part. I'm glad that they kind of slowed down the tempo a bit. Yeah, the sequel, but yeah, the sequel just isn't as good as the first one. And yeah, I just think almost everything was better in the first one, but it doesn't mean that this one is not good. It is good in its own way. And as a sequel, it's okay. It kind of works. I don't really get like the character and the dark humor of someone like Kitano that we had in the first one, which is kind of a shame. But yeah, it is still watchable. I do recommend watching this one as well, just because of the concept, and we get to learn some more new added details to the story. And also, I read that Quentin Tarantino was offered a part in this film, but due to scheduling conflicts, he unfortunately could not film. And he was supposed to play the president of the United States, actually. So, yeah. Oh, what will this one get from me? I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. Yeah, so a 6 out of 10. It's an alright film. Definitely not as good as the first one. And I'm just seeing that in the beginning of this review, we could see the butler's head. And now my camera is tilted down. Don't know what's going on there, but yeah, that's the situation. Thank you everyone so much for watching, and please let me know in the comments below what you think about these two movies. Enjoyed the video, please give it a like. Also, subscribe by clicking the subscribe button, and don't forget to click the notify button so you get notified every time I will upload a new video. Yeah, you don't want to miss all of my reviews and videos, of course. And I'm so happy for all your support, so thank you. We're getting so much closer to 2,000 subscribers thanks to you guys. So let me just give you all a little kiss. Thank you so much. And if you made it all the way here, then please comment a little axe emoji, axe or a knife, or any weapon that you might find. So yeah, thank you so much, and hope you will have an amazing week ahead of you. Bye.